have to have the others that are in there
No,
No,
no, just. it
Just
would
for your
be
property.
For your property,
just between Ruth and I?
yes.
Well, and they would follow that piece of property
Yeah, if
when
you
it gets
sell-
sold.
Yeah.
Right, okay,
just like the easement.
okay. All right, I get it.
Commissioner Lynch, did you have something?
Yeah, I was going to ask, so there's a home on each lot as you have it, the split there. The home on at 14,438, is the lot line, the border, is that going to be far enough away from the structure there? Is it going to meet the 30-foot setback?
I'm not sure. We had a survey done a few years ago when we were trying to do this. And I know that Don asked us in October or September about that. And we said that we will do whatever needs to be. You know, the line that you have there, we can change that. You know, anything, just as long as we get the acres the way that, and it's supposed to be 5/12 for me and 7/12 for her. So the 17 and what you said before is a little bit off on that, you know, because 5/12 is closer to 16, I think.
this drawing here is just a perspective. It's not the exact plat. Whenever you go to have your property surveyed, then the surveyor will do the exact measurements.
Okay. Yeah, because because before the little building at the other end was on my side, right?
Which building?
The one down by the dam?
Yes, that was on your side.
Okay, and that was gonna go to me?
Yeah.
Okay, and on there, that's showing it going
To me?
to Ruth.
No.
So, you know, we can change that.
Yeah,
So
well, yeah,
that
yeah.
is a building?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
little,
Okay. So
Well,
when you do have your lot line surveyed, you'll need to make sure that your buildings are at least 30 feet away from the lot
Okay.
line.
I talked to the gentleman that's, he came out to look it over for surveying it, and he said it was no problem to get past the building that's on my property. They could move the line 30 feet over to make sure that it was legal.
Okay.
And, because I told you if that wouldn't work, I could tear that building down.
Well, or just move it, because it's on
It's
skids.
not attached.
It's not a
So it's not a
permanent
permanent.
structure.
So it doesn't.
But he said he wouldn't have any problem going past it.
Good.
I think that's just an item to be aware of, that when you get the final plat done, to ensure that you have those setbacks, okay, the 30-foot setbacks, one way or the other, right? Just keep that in mind when you have that surveyed, okay? Any other follow-up from commissioners? No? Okay. Then we will open it to public comment. If you'd like to comment, please come forward.
Okay, we're done then?
Not yet, not yet.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, we're not.
Sorry.
Yes, I'm Bruce White. I have 14,499 Road 34.7, which is the parcel west of their parcel. And I would like to see these ladies be able to get this property split so they or their heirs can, you know, be able to sell the properties. But if it's going to set a precedent for splitting up adjoining parcels, then I'd have to say no. I don't want to set a precedent because there are other parcels that are trying to be split, which I believe are on the agenda tonight, and I'm definitely not in favor of that.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Okay. Seeing none, we will bring it back to the commission. Close public comment. Any further discussion?
No.
No. Okay, then I will entertain a motion.
All right, I will make a motion to recommend to the Board of County Commissioners to approve a proposed subdivision amendment application to Lot 12 of the Summit Lake West Unit 2 subdivision submitted by Ruth Mathis and Betty Toso based on the following. The proposed use is in conformity with the code. The proposed use shall not generate any significant adverse impacts on other property in the area, and public utilities and services are available or can be made available to support uses consistent with the proposed zoning, and I have no conditions.
I do think we need to add a condition that the easement is in fact recorded and completed.
I don't care, it's up to you, because we'll get it done.
Yeah.
You know, whatever we need to
I just think
do.
that needs to be a part of the, part of the
Part of
proposal.
condition.
Okay,
Yep.
we can get that written up then.
Okay, so add the easement is recorded.
Okay,
Right, and then as Commissioner Lynch said, the setback for that structure be in compliance. If it takes to remove the lot line, then remove it, yeah.
It's not a permanent structure.
yeah, but there is, I think there is also consideration for this building here, that just ensuring that the final line is not,
Be in compliance.
is within compliance of the 30-foot setback.
Right.
Okay, and that the setback requirements are met on the final plat.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Hernandez. Any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none, we will call a vote.
Commissioner Farian,
Aye.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Aye.
Commissioner Saunders,
Aye.
Commissioner Lynch,
Aye.
Commissioner Neergard.
Aye.
Motion was carried, vote was unanimous. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, can we have roll call, please?
Commissioner Farian,
Here.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Here.
Commissioner Saunders,
Here.
Commissioner Lynch,
Here.
Commissioner Neergard.
All right. Number 2, notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Planning and Zoning Commission will hold a public hearing for the purpose of reviewing and determining recommendations to be made to the Board of County Commissioners regarding a proposed subdivision amendment to, excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry, we're still going. Board of County Commissioners regarding a proposed subdivision amendment to the Kirk, Puett, Ranchettes subdivision Lot A, submitted by True and Marjorie Kirk Family Trust on properties located at TBD Road P.2, Mancos, Colorado, consisting of 35 acres more or less, located east of Road 33, highway, or south of Highway 184, situated in Section 32, Township 37 North, Road 14 West, New Mexico Prime Meridian. This is a public hearing. Was the public notice published?
Yes, sir?
Was evidence of letters to the adjoining neighbors and mineral owners submitted?
Yes, sir?
And was the sign posted?
Yes, sir?
Okay. Would the applicant like to come forward? Hello.
My name is True Kirk. Live at 106 Linda Court, Durango, Colorado.
Thank you. Jen, can we have planning department findings, please?
Sure. The applicants are proposing to divide their 35-acre property into one 22-acre parcel, one 9-acre parcel, and one 4-acre parcel. This would be an amendment to the Kirk Puett Ranchettes subdivision. The property is currently vacant, and infrastructure has been, we have been told that the infrastructure could be available. I also have a letter to read from the CPW, which is Colorado Parks and Wildlife, that they sent to us. It says, to whom it may concern, thank you for the opportunity to comment on the proposed subdivision amendment of the Kirk Puett Ranchettes subdivision located on Road P.2, Mancos, Colorado. Colorado Parks and Wildlife, CPW, has a statutory responsibility to manage all wildlife species in Colorado. This responsibility is embarked and fulfilled through CPW's mission to perpetuate the wildlife resources of the state. To provide a quality state parks system and to provide enjoyable and sustainable outdoor recreation opportunities that educate and inspire current and future generations to serve as active stewards of the Colorado natural resources. The surrounding area is primarily private land with Puett Reservoir State Wildlife Area, SWA, to the east. This area provides habitat for multiple species of wildlife throughout the year. The project site falls within the following CPW's mapped wildlife habitats. Winter range for mule deer, severe winter range for elk, summer and fall concentration area for black bear, mountain lion overall range. Several other species of wildlife may frequent the area throughout the year, including songbirds, raptors, foxes, coyotes, and other small mammals. This subdividing of large properties can cause habitat fragmentation, which can lead to the displacement of wildlife. The proposed subdivision may also cause a shift in wildlife behavior, migration routes, and production areas due to the increased disturbance from roads, buildings, and human presence. CPW acquired a 60-foot wide easement in 1965 to access Puett Reservoir, SWA. At that time, the access was a two-track access across a large parcel of private land from Road 33 to the boat ramp. This two-track is approximately 1.5 miles in length. The access road was unimproved through the mid to late 90s, and after that time, CPW improved the road by adding gravel. CPW currently has one heavy equipment operator to maintain all CPW roads in the Southwest region. CPW is concerned with the additional subdividing of existing neighborhood. The impact of the addition will increase the traffic and maintenance requirement on Road P2. And then they go on to, for additional recommendations, requirements for wildlife-resistant trash containers, and they give their CPW website to go on to learn all of those. It's cpw.gov.
Thank you.
That's it.
Any other findings?
That's pretty much it, yeah.
What about wildfire?
Wildfire recommends a comprehensive wildfire mitigation plan as the area is densely vegetated and located in an area of high fire risk.
Thank you. Do you have anything to add, sir? No? Okay. Commissioners, do you have anything?
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what's the situation with the wildlife area? Where's their border?
It's around Puett Reservoir.
just the water line is the boundary of the wildlife area?
Yeah, I've never seen a distinction or a delineation there from our GIS maps or Parks and Wildlife.
Does that need to be figured out before we move ahead?
I'm sure that they probably don't extend another half a mile west, but I can't answer that.
Because it sounds like they're imposing some possible, well, they're writing about concerns of things that it sounds like they would like to restrict. And I'm wondering if they have the authority, the jurisdiction to do that. As well on the road, they're talking about the road and.
They don't own the road. All they did is an access easement. They don't own the road, and they don't want to be responsible for maintenance. They're basically volunteering that at this point.
Okay.
But their overlay doesn't include the property.
No, I've never seen a designated.
How could it?
You would have to have
Well,
state.
Because they have Puett Lake.
Well, otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to buy the property, right?
Exactly. To my understanding, that's a government entity controlling
Well,
private land, right?
no, but they could still have jurisdiction, just like in California. From the edge of a water stream, the California Department of Fish and Game has 15 feet jurisdiction. Still private property, but they have jurisdiction.
Which makes sense.
That's all I'm saying.
Which makes sense being right up against Puett.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's it, yeah.
Right,
Well,
but
yeah.
not extending into, because a wildlife area is not private, right? So the wildlife area, Lone Mesa, for instance, there are private residences around it, but the wildlife area does not extend into the private areas. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, okay, I see. And that was just my question, is if they had any kind of jurisdiction in there.
It seems to me that that's a letter of recommendation,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, because it's all private property.
Right.
Okay.
I can show you the map.
They
So-
must have some kind of jurisdiction around Puett Lake, but maybe it is only 15, 20 feet, who
Right.
who knows, yeah.
Does the Kirk, Puett, Ranchettes, do they have covenants?
No, they do not.
They don't have, okay.
It's a 6-acre or 6-lot subdivision, all are 35 plus acres. So it was created outside of the planning department.
And in the same way with the applicant that we had prior to this, they would have, Mr. Kirk would have to construct covenants for this particular lot.
And so the subdivision was created prior to the land use code, is what you're saying?
No, it's per state statute, if all properties are over 35 acres, it's created just with the land survey deposit outside of the planning office. So no covenants are required.
So by happenstance, it becomes a subdivision.
It's a recorded subdivision, but they don't have to abide by the land use code provisions. So they don't pay fees. They don't pay road impact fees. All they do is create it and record it.
And that was up until an application comes before the Planning and Zoning Commission, and then from that point on, it's different.
But yeah, if you're trying to divide any parcel to under 35 acres, it has to go through the planning and zoning department.
Anything over doesn't.
So what portion of the surrounding area is part of this subdivision then? Where does that change? Is it just that 135-acre parcel in its own subdivision?
This is the proposed
Right.
lot to be split. These are the 6 lots.
They're all big lots.
So what is the,
1, 2, 3.
what is the maintenance for the road? Right now, it's being taken care of kind of as a courtesy by,
Parks and Wildlife is helping, and private landowners are maintaining it.
or, so there, I'm assuming there's no agreements between the landowners on maintenance of the road.
Correct. There's no agreement. There's no legal ownership. It's been in dispute for the last 30 years.
The road?
Yes.
Okay.
It was brought to the county last summer for about 2 months. And it's not the county's road, and the county doesn't have oversight on it, and it's not a resolved issue.
Sir, can you explain to me the reasoning behind the obscure lot shapes here?
The reasoning behind my proposed subdivision.
Yeah, the reasoning behind the shape of these lots. Is there a reasoning behind that?
Yes, sir. I had a 18-acre subdivision south of Durango some years ago. I made a distinctive effort to keep the houses out of sight of neighbors. So one neighbor couldn't look to another one. The big piece, a 22-acre piece, is on the top of a hill. Nobody can see that area. The bottom one, 4 acres, now has a nose road into there's a open escarpment through there, and a building site at the top of that can't be seen from any of the others or from the road. The top one is an open field. It's an open meadow that can be seen from anywhere, but they can't see the housing locations.
So it's more or less following the current contour of the property?
Correct.
Okay. Commissioners, do you have anything else? No? Okay. Then we will open it to public comment. If you'd like to comment, please come forward, state your name and address before providing comments, and please provide all comments to us, not the applicant. Thank you. You will have 3 minutes. At the end of 3 minutes, I'll raise my hand. Thank you.
My name is Robin Lewis Lees. I reside at 34134 Road P.2 in Mancos, Colorado, and co-own this property with my husband, Donald Lees. With full authority, I'll be speaking on both of our behalves pertaining to the proposed subdivision. This proposal would have so many negative impacts, my allotted time would not cover them all. First and foremost, the alleged P.2 road that crosses our property has been independently surveyed within the past 2 weeks and proves that the existing road is more than 18 feet from where the easement is located in formal documentation. Is the county willing or financially able to build and maintain a new road that will accommodate the increased traffic and build the road where it is supposed to be according to survey results? Secondly, this proposed subdivision will have a significant negative impact on the local wildlife. In the last 5 years, we have observed a growing and healthier wildlife population in this particular area. The proposed piece of property and surrounding properties have been a breeding ground, grazing area, and bedding area for multiple species of wildlife. Red-tailed hawks, mule deer, elk, bear, fox, raccoon, and turkey, not to mention the occasional bald eagle, named just a few species of indigenous wildlife that will be negatively impacted and displaced. I don't believe anyone who purchased property within a wildlife sanctuary area, averaging at 35 acres plus, purchased with the intention of displacing the indigenous wildlife. Subdividing this property will have severely negative and irreversible impacts on these populations of indigenous wildlife. It is my hope that this board takes the testimony you hear tonight to heart, not look at a dollar, but look at where we live. Did any of us move here for any other reason but to enjoy the real Colorado experience? This subdivision is unnecessary, unwanted, and unwelcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a petition that was signed for the neighbors. Do I give it to someone?
You can give it to us up here. Don, do you want to record? How do you want to do that?
You can pass it around. if
Okay.
you want.
My name is Deanna Millar. I'm at 34231 Road N.M.P, Lot F of Kirk, Puett, Ranchettes. The petition was started by Clinton and my neighbor in Lot C, and there's 10 signatures. 4 of the 6 lots have signatures on there denying we don't want this to happen. I have a letter. Clinton Strauss was not able to be here tonight. I have his letter. Can I read it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He says, to whom it may concern, I purchased Lot C in Kirk, Puett, Ranchettes in March of this year. The main reason I purchased this vacant land is to fulfill my dream of building a home with solitude. The 6 lots that make up Kirk, Puett, Ranchettes are all 35-plus acres, with the surrounding lots consisting of similar large acreages. I was told at the time of purchase and presented with title documents that these 6 parcels in Kirk, Puett, Ranchettes cannot be subdivided without losing legal access. I am very much against the subdivision of Lot A by True Kirk for 2 main reasons. Road P.2 is not a county road and has had major issues in the past and presently in terms of maintenance, legal access, and utility easements. Adding additional lots served by this road will only further complicates the difficulties which already exist. Number 2, all the land in this area is 35-plus acre lots, and the subdividing Lot A sets a precedent that could allow for other lots and these lots to be further divided. For myself and many of my neighbors, our properties represent the reality of living in a quiet and peaceful life. I call it the American dream. We intentionally purchased land in our area with large acreage lots. We afforded the space necessary to spread our homes out and build without encroaching upon each other. This way of life is directly threatened by allowing smaller acreage lots. I think True Kirk's proposed subdivision is strictly a money-making venture, and he has no concern for the people actually living in the area. Please maintain the integrity of the land and the people who live here by rejecting the subdivision. Thanks for the time. Clinton Strawn, owner Lot C, Kirk, Puett, Ranchettes. Now, can I say something about mine?
Yeah, you have 20 seconds.
How many seconds?
But this was for Clinton.
You can't yield time, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, I agree with this totally. I just built my retirement home out there. I do not want a neighborhood. I already have one neighbor that is saying that if it does get passed, that he's just going to throw up his hands, subdivide his lot, and move.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good evening. I am Patty Winger, reside at 34886 Road P.2 Loop. So our property, we bought it 20 years ago, built our dream home for our retirement. 12 years ago, we started living there full-time. We were the first residents for Rogue Ranch HOA, and for many years, we were the only residents down at that end. Our property on the east side abuts Puett, which we are the ones that would provide, in addition to the easement that the CPW has to get down the road. Our property is the additional easement onto Puett. So We have also signed the petition. Our property abuts the Kirk, Puett, Ranchettes on the west side. If you had ever been to our home, we have 2 sets of double French doors looking out over to the mountains and over the Puett Ranchettes. Our friend and neighbor was the first to build over there, and the thought of having multiple homes now building in what is technically our backyard. I mean, I understand that the whole not in my backyard sentiment is not necessarily a good defense. However, it really is our view. And so we share the CPW's concerns with regard to wildlife. I think other people have mentioned that. We've seen over the last dozen years a decrease in the number of elk, deer, turkey. The elk literally come over that hill in the fall and come onto our property. If we have 3 homes there, that will displace the elk. I'm also concerned with our privacy, our quality of life. We bought into Rogue Ranch specifically because it was an HOA, but also knew that our neighbors to the west were 35 acres. This change would dramatically impact our quality of life. It would also potentially impact the value of our property. We also see this as it's a slippery slope. Once we did give this to one neighbor, other neighbors will, as has already been said, divide their property and just leave. Lastly, I just think there was a comment made earlier about the build sites and that the homes would not be seen. The homes would absolutely be seen. 2 out of 3 of those properties would be seen from our house. And given the fact that there is very little restriction from the town, from the county, as to what can be done on those properties, I don't want to see, if you've come down to 33 and P2, it's trash heap.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Tara Graff. I live in actually 33915 County Road P.2. I'm in Lopez subdivision, which is above the Puett Ranch subdivisions. I am the only one with large equipment who maintains that road, besides Deanna. And it's very expensive to maintain. And I don't get reimbursed very often. So I do not want more people that just want to abuse their privileges of me taking care of stuff. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Hello, my name's Adrian Nelson, 34007 Road P2. I'm neighbors. I have an easement through Robin and Don's property, and Tara's my neighbor right there. Really with this, when I looked at this to buy something there, I looked at the HOA and I looked at their rules and everything like that, saying oh, we're not going to break up these properties as part of our HOA. And I thought I read something on that section too about that, but I might be mistaken. It's been 5 years. But the fact that it's not a county maintained road, it takes a while to get it cleared. There's already a lot of use that goes into the road because of the reservoir and people going and fishing and recreating and that kind of thing. But that also leads to people littering, people going 65 miles an hour down that road. And it is an issue, it's caused a lot of problems, that sort of thing. But I didn't buy that land because I wanted other pieces to get subdivided. If I wanted to live right next to people, and it seems like everybody's pretty much stated that too that's gone before me, I would have bought some property next to a bunch of houses. That would have been the plan. But I hold Clinton's sentiment here, which I bought this land because I would like to build something with my own hands and have my own place in an area where I'm not surrounded by people. And we are afforded that luxury, which is, you know, a privilege for sure. But once this happens, it's going to keep happening. That's always how it goes. And the fact that this is not a county maintained road, I don't know really where the county can give say to yes on this, you know? I don't want to see anything have P2 be access to anything else other than what's already there, you know? We've already had, you know, we have problems with, like I said, with people just speeding down the road and doing all that. But wintertime, bunch of snow, that road gets sloppy. It's hard to get out of, it's hard to get into. Everybody does their own clearing of everything like that. I think the last time it got graded by the state was 2.5 years ago, something like that, you know? They're not gonna come back around anytime soon. This kind of thing, I don't have any problem with, I'm not trying to make it personal, but I don't have any problem with people making money from their land, but I do have a problem with like squeezing every penny you can out of land that pretty sure everything around it was already owned and sold off, and this is the last piece of property that's not been sold. And so that, that's the kind of business practice I don't like. And business always supersedes what people want, in our world. It'd be nice to see that not occur in this, instance, because business always supersedes everybody, and everything else. So anyway, I think everything else has pretty much been covered. I'm in pretty much agreement with all of my neighbors about not wanting this to happen. My name's on that petition as well. So thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. Then we will close public comment. Bring it back to the commission. Commissioners, any further discussion?
Yeah, I know in what we're normally asking about are covenants, but how does a homeowners association relate to covenants? Are covenants part of the HOA? Are they two separate ways of dealing with that issue? Does one have more power than the other?
Covenants are mandatory, the 8 minimum per the land use code. An HOA, we don't have any purview or oversight over. That's basically their own governing body to take care of their own subdivision people and lots. A lot of subdivisions don't have HOAs anymore, but they do have like a road fee or a road group that gets together and they all put in money to maintain their roads. This subdivision, Road 34.5, is the subdivision road. So that is a 60-foot wide easement that's required by the land use code. Our code doesn't really define or state specifically the easement width or road leading up to that subdivision. Generally, they're kind of considered to come off of a county road, so this is a different, unique situation.
So the county does not maintain 34.5?
No. That's the subdivision road.
It's a red road then, and as well as P2.
Correct. Yeah, the county only covers Road 33.
So there is or is not an easement for P2?
Correct. The existing subdivision has an easement to the subdivision from their plat. It's there in the yellow, a 30-foot wide easement.
So what you have highlighted is P2, coming from 30.
Coming from 33.
34.5.
And that statement is part of the recorded six-lot subdivision plat.
Okay. So it's really not defined, it's just a 30-foot road easement wherever the road is.
Well, here's the legal description of it.
Beginning of, okay, you're right.
There is some dispute or disagreement or non-conference that the road's exactly where the easement is and vice versa.
I'd like to comment on a comment.
Comment on the comment? Yeah.
Someone mentioned that we need to base our decision not on the dollar. And I'd like to make sure that everybody understands that I don't think there's anybody on this commission that is making decisions based on dollars. There's nothing in the land use code that refers to dollars, and we're not thinking about dollars. We're just thinking about what's in the land use code, and we're doing our best to get that right.
P2 is defined.
Before we get too far, I've got concerns. One of my concerns is the road P2. There's no maintenance agreement. It seems to me like there ought to be work toward a maintenance agreement among the landowners in that area that road serves. So that's a concern for me. Another concern for me is when I look around at the properties immediately surrounding this property, there's not one that is broken down less than 35 acres, it looks like. And so the application is to go to 3 to 9 and 10 to 34. Those are both smaller than 35. And for me, there's no, one of the things that the land use code talks about is it's established in order to give people some sense of how fast things are coming your way. And so the zoning changes near the city, and then it makes its way farther and farther out. And that's sort of that's something that should happen over time, and it gives you a sense of security knowing that it's going to take time for you to get there, or for it to get to you, I mean. And on this particular application, we're being asked to put one right in the middle of a lot of large acreage, and that's a concern for me. Also, not knowing the legal aspects of HOAs versus covenants and whatnot, I'm kind of, I'm a little uncomfortable there. So overall, I'm comfortable with this application.
So another subdivision's HOA has nothing to do with this subdivision. They have no relevance at all. So Rogue Ranch HOA has no input or insight in governing this subdivision.
So you're talking about something that I don't see on the map, and that is boundaries for an HOA. I don't know where those are and which one covers this property.
So there is nothing, no HOA, no covenants that cover the 6 lots.
Okay.
There's no HOA. And
Just east of there
maintenance.
is another subdivision that's accessed by P2, P.2 loop, which their primary access is over here, right down here. So an HOA we have no oversight over, we can't direct, we can't base any decisions off of having one, not having one, or how it's gonna operate. It's not part of the land use code. But covenants and the 8 mandatory are just parts of the land use code: wildfire mitigation, septic, setbacks, weed control, prairie dogs.
So one of my largest concerns here is that the P2 being a 30-foot access and that one of the points here is the proposed use shall not generate any significant adverse impacts to other property in the area. The adverse impact I see immediately is maintenance of that road. It's not maintained by the county, and it's being maintained by a few people here. Added homes to that, in my opinion, adds adverse impacts to the surrounding people. That's one of my main concerns here. Echoing also the 35 lot acres or 35 lot units in that area. No other subdivisions, prominent subdivisions anywhere relatively close, in my opinion, that potentially setting precedent as you move forward, to your point of almost spot changing within the surrounding area.
Something else, I may be wrong because I looked at several properties, but if I remember correctly, as you leave Road 33 going down P2, there's speed bumps on that road. It's a dirt road with speed bumps built in. And now I don't remember how far those went down, but I remember hitting a few of them.
On 33?
No, on P2.
On P2.
Somebody put it in there.
The other thing I want to comment about is, as I went along P2, there's a portion of that road that looked like it was in the shade for a portion of the day, such that the snow would stay longer there. And it was, as a matter of fact, it was muddy when I went through there compared to the rest of the road, which was dry. So that's another complication, I think, in terms of maintenance of the road. Just some things I'll throw out.
Well, I have the same concerns that Commissioner Farron and Commissioner Lynch did with bringing in a 3-lot subdivision among large pieces of property. And P2, I live on a same kind of a situation with the road, which is actually maintained by the county sometimes, and having to clear the road myself.
Okay. So then, at this time, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, I would. As far as, can you hear me?
Yeah.
As far as precedent is concerned, there are 2 parcels coming off of 33 that are a lot smaller than 35 acres. You can see them there, that one and the next one. I realize it's not part of 35, but there is at least a precedence in the area for smaller lots. Also, I guess 2 other comments. As I told you, I did a subdivision once before, and I always provided equipment to maintain that. I've been out of that subdivision now for several years, but I just picked up my equipment a couple of months ago because they had it back over there using that. I have a lot of ability to help maintain this road, and I commit to you and to our neighbors there that I would do that. One other comment is that I've always strived to be a good neighbor. Recently, we purchased 6 water taps from Montezuma Water. 3 of those were purchased by people behind us, one of them making a comment tonight. And I bought all 3 of the others. I didn't have to do that. I could have brought 1 water tap up to the corner of my land, and they sell for $12,500 a piece. Because I made that subdivision for 35-acre tracts, and I wanted those people to have water. I met with these 3 people over in the restaurant in Mancos, and I was under the impression that all 3 of them wanted water. It probably has increased the value of their land, $40,000 to $50,000 a piece. Then they now own that right. But I bought 3 taps for these, and certainly I can sell them, or I can do something with what I can't use there. But I made that purchase in trying to be a good neighbor, in trying to help our people in the back of this property. And I'm a little bit taken back tonight that they get the added use of their water, added value of their land, but they don't want me to use mine. But I'll deal with that. Whatever happens with this, I still like my neighbors, and I'll still try to be a good neighbor to everybody out there. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Okay, any further discussion? No? Okay, then I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. I recommend to the Board of County Commissioners to deny a proposed subdivision amendment to the Kirk Puett Ranchettes subdivision Lot A submitted by True and Marjorie Kirk Family Trust based on the following. The discussion that the commissioners had in relation to maintaining Road P.2 and the discussion that the commissioners had regarding the size of the properties immediately surrounding this property and no other properties of the same size being requested on the permit. Was that?
Okay. Any second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Hernandez. Any further discussion on the motion? Okay, seeing none, we will call a vote. So just to be clear, a vote of yes is for the denial of this proposal.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for clarifying that.
Yep.
Commissioner Farian?
Aye.
Commissioner Hernandez?
Aye.
Commissioner Saunders?
Nay.
Commissioner Lynch?
Aye.
Commissioner Neergard?
Okay. Motion was carried. Vote was 3-2. Good luck.
Yeah, and
Yep.
you're welcome to bring this forward to the commissioners on your own.
Thank you, folks.
Okay.
And can we have roll call, please?
Commissioner Farian?
Here.
Commissioner Hernandez?
Here.
Commissioner Saunders?
Here.
Commissioner Lynch?
Here.
Commissioner Neergard?
Okay. Excuse me. It's okay. Excuse me, if you'd like to have a conversation, please step outside. Thank you. Number 3, notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Planning and Zoning Commission will hold a public hearing for the purpose of reviewing and determining recommendations to be made to the Board of County Commissioners regarding a proposed subdivision amendment application to the Van Horn subdivision and boundary line adjustment submitted by Fiona King on property located at 17380 Road G, Cortez, Colorado, consisting of 4.41 acres more or less, and Greaves/Larson Family Trust on property located at 17374 Road G, Cortez, Colorado, consisting of 25 acres more or less, both located south of Road G and west of Road 21, situated in Section 33, Township 36 North, Range 17 West, New Mexico Prime Meridian. This is a public hearing. Was the public notice published?
Yes, sir?
Was evidence of letters to the adjoining neighbors and mineral owners submitted?
Yes, sir?
And was the sign posted?
Yes, sir?
Would the applicant like to come forward? Hello. Jane, can we have planning department findings, please?
Sure. This is a, actually, it's a common lot line change within a subdivision. And what they are doing is just changing the lot line to incorporate the driveway and the outbuildings onto Fiona King's property from her neighbor to the south, in order to be compliant with the land use code. And that's basically it. Both parties, both property owners are in agreement to this proposal. They have signed the application, so they are all in agreement with that. The infrastructures are already in place. There's nothing more to be added.
Thank you. Is there anything you would like to add?
No.
Okay. Bring it to the commission. Anything?
So to be clear, then, lot 14 is owned by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, Fiona then. And then Greaves owns the bottom half.
Yes,
Okay.
they own lot number 13.
Correct.
And that's basically just to allow those compliance with the buildings.
Yep.
How did this happen? Okay, sorry. Wow.
It's a comedy of errors.
Okay,
Things happen.
that's
Commissioner Lynch?
all I had.
So I have a comment. I'd like to commend the landowners involved in this application for working together to solve a non-compliance issue with the land use code without resorting to an exemption request. Thank you very much.
And/or violence. We don't know that. That's what I said, yeah, how did it happen? God.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Then we will open it to public comment. Anybody like to comment? Okay. Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the commission. No further discussion. I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to recommend to the County Board of Commissioners to approve the proposed subdivision amendment application to the Van Horn subdivision and boundary line adjustment submitted by Fiona King on property located at 17380 Road G, Cortez, Colorado, consisting of 4.41 acres more or less, and the Greaves Larson Family Trust, based on the following. The proposed use is in conformity with the code. The proposed use shall not generate any significant adverse impacts on other property in the area. And, where's that last sheet? I always lose it. Public utilities and services are available or can be made available to support uses consistent with the proposed zoning. There it is.
No conditions.
Yeah.
Motion was seconded by Commissioner Neergard. No further discussion. We can call a vote.
Commissioner Farian?
Aye.
Commissioner Hernandez?
Aye.
Commissioner Saunders?
Aye.
Commissioner Lynch?
Aye.
Commissioner Neergard?
Motion was carried, but was unanimous. Good luck.
Thanks.
Yep.
I'll be in touch with you, Fiona.
Okay. Can we have roll call, please?
Commissioner Farian?
Here.
Commissioner Hernandez?
Here.
Commissioner Saunders?
Here.
Commissioner Lynch?
Here.
Commissioner Neergard?
Okay, number 4, notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Planning and Zoning Commission will hold a public hearing for the purpose of reviewing and determining recommendations to be made to the Board of County Commissioners regarding a proposed second amendment to Lot 1 of the Litchlighter 2-lot moderate subdivision submitted by Kathleen Turner on property located at 25695 Road M, Cortez, Colorado, consisting of 7.34 acres, more or less, located west of Road 26, north of Road M, situated in Section 11, Township 36 North, Range 16 West, New Mexico, Prime Meridian. This is a public hearing. Was the public notice published?
Yes, sir?
Was evidence of letters to adjoining neighbors and mineral owners submitted?
Yes, sir?
And was the sign posted?
Yes, sir?
Hello. Jane, can we have public or department findings?
Sure. CAP proposes to, excuse me, to divide Lot 1A of the Litchlighter 2-lot moderate subdivision into 2 parcels, one 3-acre and one 4-acre. The surrounding properties are agricultural and residential in use, and subdivisions surround all of this property. There is an access easement that has been dedicated along the west property line of this property that serves this property and Lot 1B, which is just above it. And all the infrastructure is already in place. Wildfire mitigation partnership has recommended a waiver for the wildfire protection plan due to it not having any vegetation on it. And she does not, there are covenants for this subdivision, and at this moment, she does not plan to change those.
Is there anything else you'd like to add? Just curiosity, why cut it diagonally?
Well, my septic, I live in the back triangle piece, and my septic goes this way, but that was just kind of a first draft, so it probably won't, because I'd like to keep something that goes to Road M in case I need another access. So I probably won't cut it that way.
Okay.
Oops.
Go ahead, Commissioner Lynch.
Is she through? Are you through?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so that brings up a question. My vote is going to be dependent on the application before me, which shows a visual of 2 triangular, more or less, pieces, and that's more or less how the property is going to be divided. And what I thought I heard from the landowner is that there's a possibility that it won't be divided that way. Am I mistaken?
That's what I said. I was gonna see what the surveyor recommended before I made an exact decision on how it was gonna go.
How much would you deviate from what you see up there?
Probably not that much. I just want to keep it so that I am attached right there
At the road?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that would make good sense,
I
but
didn't want my septic or any of that to be near.
as long as you're not thinking of going with a vertical line rather than a diagonal line, or something drastically different than what you've
Oh, no,
shown on the
not
application?
drastically, no.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. I have a question regarding the road easement. The road easement then is for Lot 1 and Lot 1B, which is up above, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so does the road easement allow for this new parcel?
I
That would
believe
be, it would be a easement that is, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically dedicated to the two lots.
Well, there's another house on the other side of that belongs to our subdivision as well.
Here we go.
That
Okay.
that road was explained to me that is the subdivision's road.
It's a
that-
60-foot wide, okay, all right. Okay, yeah, this helps.
It's a little
Yeah.
bit convoluted.
Yeah.
Because it was one lot originally, now it's two, now we're gonna be three,
Then it's
right?
gonna be three.
So the Litchlighters were proposing like a 7-lot major subdivision, and somehow these 2 lots is all that came out of that.
Okay.
That's why you have a 60-foot easement that goes all the way through there, as well as going west across the north of Lot 2.
60-foot wide access to, so
And
it's not
subsequently, Lot 1 has been split into a 4 and a 7 acre.
Okay.
And Cat owns the 7 acres at the south.
Hold on.
But so there are these 60-foot easements to the exterior properties. This is a 60, since then it's been split again outside of planning. There's a 47 acre to the east and a 65 to the west. It was 300 and some acres that got all split up. But this configuration only comes out of a bigger plan that didn't develop.
Okay. Goes up, and this will cut across somewhere in here, so that's still touching, all right. Yeah, it's a non-exclusive easement also, so, yeah, anybody can use it. Let's see,
Okay.
I think I had one more question. Easement for returner or, okay, no, I'm good.
So the application refers to the Licklider Development Covenants. Have you a copy of those covenants?
Oh, I don't have a copy with me. There's not very many. They're very basic.
Have you read it?
Yes,
And you know what's in it?
yes.
And this application in no way violates the covenants?
No.
Okay.
Any other questions? No? Okay. Then we will open it to public comment. Okay. Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the commission, close public comment. And if there's no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to recommend to the Board of County Commissioners to approve a proposed a proposed second amendment to Lot 1 of the Litchlider 2 lot moderate subdivision submitted by Kathleen Turner based on the following. The proposed use is in conformity with the code. The proposed use shall not generate any significant adverse impacts on other property in the area. And public utilities and services are available or can be made available to support uses consistent with the proposed zoning. I have no conditions.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a condition that the new owner, whoever it is, be notified of the land use code. The county has one.
Okay.
That's it.
Any further discussion on the motion? We will call a vote.
Commissioner Farian?
Aye.
Commissioner Hernandez?
Aye.
Commissioner Saunders?
Aye.
Commissioner Lynch?
Aye.
Commissioner Niergaard?
Aye. Motion was carried, vote was unanimous. Good luck.
I'll be in touch with you, Pat. Okay.
Okay, and can we have roll call, please?
Commissioner Farian?
Here.
Commissioner Hernandez?
Still here.
Commissioner Saunders?
Here.
Commissioner Lynch?
Here.
Commissioner Niergaard?
Okay, any additional items?
I've got one item. Haley and I have discussed it briefly. we're looking into, getting training from DOLA as far as general generic, P and Z commissioner duties, responsibilities, approaches. And then I've also talked to Ian, to also do a training, which probably would be specifically per our land use code and more defined, I guess, how and what approach he sees we should be taking. More of a legal aspect, and I guess more aligned with, you know, with our P and Z commissioners, but not exactly how and what they're thinking, but just in the direction and how we need to go and have continuity. I would like to have the DOLA meeting first. I have a phone call with them on Monday. They tentatively said they're booked for 6 months, but I'm gonna see if we could do a 20-minute session, a Zoom call prior to one of our meetings, January, February, as soon as we can get it in. I don't know if you guys would prefer to go ahead and have Ian. We can do Ian for January's meeting. Or we could see what DOLA's schedule is and then kind of go from there.
I would recommend DOLA first. I did the training with them 4 years ago when I started. And I think it's really helpful to have like the state perspective and, you know, their insight on planning and zoning. 'Cause it definitely gave me a different view of how to approach things here. And they had really good recommendations, you know, like these people are your neighbors and could be your friends, and it's just good things to remember in a town of 25,000 people.
We did that when we first started, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's good to me.
Okay, well, I will have that conversation Monday and see what, because we don't have, they were wondering if there was some specifics or if we had a problem or something was going awry that they needed to address, but I told them no, just pretty much an overview and
Well, I
the
think it's good to
basics
have-
from their outline.
I think it's good to touch base on that every few years anyway.
Right.
Sure.
I mean, there's turnover.
Well, we had the whole COVID thing and it was a
Yeah.
train wreck, so,
Yeah. COVID, I forgot, we were in that during COVID and that was a mess.
and we have our new member in the audience, Mike
Oh,
Doyle.
There he is.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
I have something for you too.
I invited him just so he could get a short look at what and how we operate
That's
and what
good.
you might run into.
You sure you want to do it?
Different perspective when you're out there.
You can still change your mind.
Are all of you remaining on the board of commissioners, or are you leaving?
I'm leaving.
Zach will be leaving.
Who's gonna chair the meetings going forward? We'll have to figure that one out.
Probably vote on that on January.
That will be a January
January
first
thing,
step.
yeah, which-
And I believe John's gonna be gone, but we can
Yeah.
still make appointments and do that at the beginning of January's meeting.
I think what we did this year is, me going in as vice chair, I still ran the meeting, that first one. We voted at the end to determine who chaired the rest of the year.
Right,
Yeah.
that's how it would work, yeah.
I think we're gonna switch it up a hair and just do it at the beginning of the meeting. That way we can proceed,
Okay.
because our vice chair will be gone. So we'll give it a little twist and tweak it so that it's functional and we can move forward that way.
Okay. Yeah, I'll certainly, move in if that's acceptable.
Sure. And I'm happy to back you up.
Thank you.
Sure.
And I'll be on Zoom. So
Okay.
I'll be on, I just won't be present, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I could be on, yeah.
Oh,
perfect.
But I couldn't run it from a distance.
No,
No, yeah,
right.
but I could be on. yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'll get you the
No,
link.
I'll definitely be on, yeah.
What else was there? If DOLA can do it, we'll have DOLA on Zoom as well,
Okay.
and it'll be on YouTube, so then we will have that on record for future. So
That's
then we
good.
can do it, it'll be easier to do it if and when we have new
Right, you could always go back to it.
new
also.
commissioner. And Ian, I mean, he probably would do it whenever we had a new person as well.
If it was a non-meeting time, would we just have to publish notice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime you guys meet, we have to public notice it. And it has to be the recommended or required 10-day notice.
Okay. I mean, I'd be open to meeting at a non-meeting time if we could get DOLA faster.
Yeah, I'll see, because I told him there's no reason to try and do it in person.
Mm-mm. Not now, not with weather.
Works for me.
So we'll get that scheduled, and I just figured we could do it at, maybe start it at 5:20, if it's 20 minutes, 5:20 to 5:40, and make sure we can let you guys in, and
Yeah.
I guess we'll see if you would rather if we can get DOLA in, if we can do DOLA and then Ian both the same night prior to a meeting, if that is better.
Like, start at 5, is that,
Right.
I would be good with that if you want to.
Because we may, with DOLA, we may have to go earlier, just because if they're gonna want to be done at 5 in the afternoon or
Probably.
5:15, then. But I'll see what the schedule is and get back to you guys,
All right.
let you know. But that's in the works and moving forward on that.
Okay.
And Jane, I won't be here for the February meeting.
For February? Okay.
All right.
All right, anything else?
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you.
I miss you.
Do you want some lifesavers as a treat for your service?
I'm all right, I'm all right.
I don't know
Appreciate
whose
it.
they are,
We
but.
got you going away water,
Yeah,
Aw.
yeah, perfect.
and
got
you can
something
take
else in
your
mind.
nameplate.
Oh, okay.
You can always reapply.
Yeah, like I have really enjoyed this in a lot of ways. There's been some troublesome parts, right? But life is getting too hectic at this juncture,
And you're
so.
getting married, so that makes it more.
That'll do it
Yeah.
every time.
Getting married and,
Every time.
So,
You know.
ladies and gentlemen, I move to adjourn.
I'll second it then.
I.
all in favor?
Hey.
Aye.